Shalom, friends. Rabbi Bradley Shavit Artson from the Ziegler School of Rabbinic Studies, American Jewish University in Los Angeles. We are still in the book of Deuteronomy, reading the weekly portion, and this week I want to talk about what makes a nation great. There's been a lot of discussion about making this country great or reestablishing greatness, and there doesn't seem to be clarity about what real national greatness means. Is it military might? Is it shared thinking? Is it common values? What makes a country great? And here God speaks quite clearly through Moses, telling us exactly what makes a nation great. And when Moses speaks, he mentions two examples of greatness. The first is more conventional. The first he speaks about is a nation being great that has God so near to them that God is in all things that we call upon God. That whatever we do, we think about God's perspective. Not just how does this look to us, but how does this look to our Maker, who's also the creator of everyone else and of everything else. Is this act pleasing? Is this act enhancing of creation? How does it look from the perspective of eternity? But the second claim that I think is more telling and more unique and builds upon the first is Moses then goes on to say, Umi goy gadol asher lo hukim umishpatim tzadikim kechol haTorah hazot. And who is the nation so great that has rules and statutes, laws and standards as just, as righteous as this Torah? And there, Moses is clearly saying that national greatness is not measured by strength of arms. It's not measured by power of coercion. It's not even measured by levels of material comfort or wealth. Greatness as a nation is measured by the tzedek, the justice of its laws and its practices. And the way he's saying you can tell that the Israelites have a claim on national greatness, unlike Egypt and Babylon and Assyria and Rome, whose greatness was wealth and pomp and hierarchy and power. The greatness of Israel is the greatness of laws of righteousness and justice, the establishment of human dignity, for example, the requirement that the land should lay fallow and rest and restore itself, for example, that we should separate the young from its mother to care for it in its youth, for example, that we should have one law for ourselves and for the stranger in our midst. The Bible is replete with examples of chukim umishpatim, laws and ordinances that are tzaddik, righteous. And so too should we. If we hope to claim national greatness as our own, building on our biblical heritage, then we also have to be clear what we mean by greatness. We are great to the measure that we institute compassion into our legal system, to the extent that we care for the widow and the orphan, those who are poorest and least able to defend themselves. That, and that alone, is the measure of national greatness in the eyes of Moses, in the eyes of God, in the eyes of the Bible. Shalom.